and I've been impressed from your acting, because usually it can happen that very famous actor, when playing with a certain kind of movies, they don't act, they don't give their best. I think that you did an excellent performance, and I've seen that you even invested in the movie personally, because looking at the credits, you appear as a producer. So this movie, to me, I mean, it looks like quite important to you, this movie, at least from what you gave into the movie and your investment. So what does Assassin's Creed movie represent for you?
Blood, sweat, and tears. It was a journey that started 5 years ago for me, when I met the guys at Ubisoft. To be honest with you, I'm not really a gamer, so I hadn't played the game before. I'd seen posters and adverts on the television, and I was kind of curious. It seemed quite mysterious and something dangerous about it. Of course, dangerous because they're called assassins, but I didn't know the universe. And so when I sat down with the guys from Ubisoft, we had lunch together, and they explained this universe to me. I was on board after that lunch immediately, because I just thought it was fascinating. This concept of genetic memory, that all of us carry the knowledge and experience of our ancestors in our DNA. That to me seemed not only really cool, but very plausible. And then when they started to describe the world of the Templars, that they're this elite group of society, very powerful people in the world that kind of run the world, and they believe in science and order, and that they also believe that some humans should be enslaved, that some humans are more important than others. And then the counterpoint to this ethos, ideology group of people was the assassins, who date back to the Garden of Eden, and Adam and Eve were the first assassins that chose free will to pluck the apple. I thought, oh, this is interesting. You know, when you start to play with stories like Adam and Eve, that everybody's familiar with, but you put a little slant on it, I thought that's quite fun. And that basically the assassins were there to protect free will at all costs, and also to prevent these artifacts, the Apple of Eden being one of them, to prevent them from getting into the hands of the Templars. I thought, I was hooked immediately. I thought, this is such a fantastic world. And I thought that it would translate very well onto the big screen.
If I try to go back with my memories, the only example of famous actors involved in films are Bob Hoskins and Angelina Jolie. Yet video games are quite important, and they reach millions of people. So why in the year 2016, only very few famous actors have been involved in video game movies? Do you think that there is a sort of rejection from famous actors to be involved in video games, or what?
I can't really answer that, to be honest. I'm not sure. I know that Jake Gyllenhaal did Prince of Persia, and Mia Jovovich did Resident Evil. I'm not sure. I just knew for me that when I spoke to these guys, I just thought it was a fascinating world. And that what I also liked about it was there's so much moral ambiguity in this universe as well. It was very sophisticated, I thought. But I can't really say why more people won't. Maybe they will after this film. Who knows? Because as you say, video games sort of inspire so many people around the world. There's, for this video game alone, I think it's like 100 million players. So it's huge.
Okay, one of the biggest risks when making a movie out of video game is that video game is something interactive and gives you the freedom to do whatever you want when you want. And Assassin's Creed is probably one of the most famous games to give you the total freedom.
Mm-hmm.
In a movie, this doesn't happen. And so this is probably one of the reasons why it has happened that some movies taken out of video games didn't work.
Mm.
So how risky can be such a project for even video gamers, that we go to the cinema and we see something which is not exactly the same as the movie, as the game?
Yeah, it's I have a little bit of experience with comic book fans that are kind of similar to video gamers in the fact that they're very passionate about this world, and they're also very vocal about how they feel, which I like because I think I'm the same. And there's always a pressure when you have such a loyal fan base like that you of course you want them to be happy with the film, to embrace it. We also had to think about people that had never played the game before, and so that if they come into the movie theater and start watching this universe, that they don't need information from playing the game, a backstory from playing the game, that they can come in without any knowledge of it. So the challenge really was to distill down this dense universe, to get it down to some simple things. So what we had to concentrate on was Templars. Who are they? To introduce them to an audience. Assassins. We love this idea of genetic memory. We wanted to sort of explain that also. Introduce the artifacts in the form of the Apple of Eden, and to introduce the animus. That was already a lot for an audience to take on board. As you rightly said, people, when you're playing a game, are in control of where they want to take the journey. Of course, a film is different. It's a narrative, and you have to sort of sit back and be taken on a journey as opposed to be the person that's instigating that journey. It's just a different experience, and it was very important for us to move away from the game in certain respects with that. That's why we came up with brand new characters. That's why we came up with a brand new timeline in the Spanish Inquisition. So we had our own stall set up outside of the game. Also with the animus, when you're playing the game, it's fine because the character is sitting in a chair, and you kind of get dropped into the regression. But for a film purpose, it wouldn't have been very interesting to watch Cal just sitting on a chair as Aguilar's going through his journey. So we wanted to have Cal physicalizing that journey also. So that's why we came up with the Animus arm, which I think is really successful. And Ubisoft were so happy with that they're talking about putting that in future games now. So it's nice when you get that cross-pollination between the two worlds, the gaming world and then the movie.